replay. We play Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Can Azor the Lawbringer lay down the law against Keranos, Kumina, and Reese? Find out next on Commander Replay. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Azor the Lawbringer, Sphinx Tribal. We have a reasonable starting hand. We only have one land, but we do have Tithe and Land Tax, so I think we can keep that. We also have a Divining Top, which I like. So, our turn one, we'll play the Seachrome Coast since it can come in untapped. Right here, choice between... Wow, we have a lot of one-mana cards. Yeah, I guess we just play the Land Tax. Cryptolith Right coming down for the Kumina opponent. And a Rampant Growth for the Reese opponent. Back to our turn, we get a Land Tax trigger. Since we have Thought Vessel, so we can grab 3 lands. We now have a million cards in hand, finding an Expedition map. Play Thought Vessel. Then play our Sensei's Divining Top. Man, we got down to 7 cards. How about that? And pass the turn. Stony Brook Banneret for the Kumina opponent. So they look to be on Merfolk Tribal. Signet for our opponent. Selesnya Guildmage coming down for the Reese opponent. Back to our turn, we get a Land Tax trigger. Yeah, we'll go 3 more. We have Thought Vessel. And of course we draw into a land. So frustrating. We will play the Filter land. The reason I didn't activate top right there, I want to get this Thran Dynamo down. So play our Thran Dynamo. Now we've got some extra mana to our name. Play the Expedition map. Do we crack the Expedition map? Yeah, let's crack Expedition map. The most interesting things in our deck are going to be Ameria, Mazavith. Misfell Plains is okay. I think we go with Ameria. We're still a ways away from it, but we do have a Sword of the Animist. That can up our Plains count significantly. And with that, we will pass the turn. Trinket Mage coming down for the Keranos opponent. World Shaper. What's this? 3 and a green. Whenever it attacks, you may put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. When it dies, put all land cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. Interesting. And a Wayfaring Temple coming down for the Reese opponent. So Reese starting to get their token game on. Reese the Redeemed also coming into play. And Selesnya Guildmage going to come into us for 2. Back to our turn. More land tax. Yeah, I guess we'll start getting the plains. You do need to be careful if someone has artifact removal on Thought Vessel. I'm not going to go too crazy right here. I'll get 2 plains. So yeah, I think we just slam Sharding Sphinx. Play the Sharding Sphinx. Anything we can do with 2 mana? Now's a good time to lay down our Ameria. We'll play Ameria. And then we will rearrange with Sensei's Divining Top. And we will not land tax next turn. Lavinia of the 10th, pretty good. Solemn Simulacrum gives us a way to ramp better. Put Control Magic on the bottom since it seems the least relevant right now. Put Lavinia and then Solemn Simulacrum back on top. And with that, we will pass the turn. Sol Rain coming down for the Keranos opponent. Gonna get themselves a little bit of mana ramp. And cast their commander. Keranos coming into play. So let's take a look at what our opponents are actually playing. First up is Keranos, God of Storms. 3 blue-red for a 6/5. It's indestructible. It's not a creature if your devotion to blue and red is less than 7. Reveal the first card you draw on each of your turns. Whenever you reveal a land this way, draw a card. Whenever you reveal a non-land this way, Keranos does 3 damage to target creature or player. I'm guessing some sort of control deck. I haven't seen a lot of Keranos as a commander. So I'm not exactly sure what this deck is going to try to do, but I have to imagine it's some sort of control, slow the game down kind of shell. So the Kumina opponent casts their commander, Kumina coming into play, as well as Thada Adel, Acquisitor. Some pretty powerful cards right there. And do we have an island? We do have an island, so we won't be able to block Thada Adel, which can be pretty annoying. Reese the Redeemed, for each token you control, Reese is going to start making a whole bunch of tokens. I think on our turn, we're going to stop on our upkeep, and because of how the board has changed now, I think we're actually going to put Lavinia on top of our deck, because I really don't want this Thada Adel coming in and stealing all of our artifacts. And Reese the Redeemed is also starting to get quite a bit of power on board. They're going to send the Wayfaring Temple at the Keranos opponent, and this should get through. They will get a Populate trigger, so they'll get to copy one of their tokens. I don't think opponent realizes the trample. So opponent blocks with their Trinket Mage. They take 5, and Reese is going to get to Populate. Opponent's going to draw a card with Kumina. I'm going to go no on the land tax ability. Yes, I realize we have no max hand size, but Vandal Blast is a card, and there is a Keranos opponent at the table, and Keranos is the type of deck that would run Vandal Blast, since it is likely a control deck. On our upkeep, we are going to rearrange with Sensei's Divining Top, Control Magic, Solemn Simulacrum, and Lavinia. Lavinia, by the way, one of the few non-Sphinx creatures in the deck. I think there's about 3 non-Sphinx. And cast Lavinia. So we're going to detain each non-land permanent our opponent's control with converted mana cost 4 or less. pretty sweet. Play a plane so we can start working toward this Ameria. We could cast Tithe, but I don't think we need to right now. What I am going to do is swing into the Reese opponent with the Sharding Sphinx, and that'll give us a 1/1 Thopter. So we can get the Thopter factory going, and with that, we will pass. Before our next turn, we'll rearrange with Sensei's Divining Top. I do like the Solemn Simulacrum so we can start getting our planes count up, but we'll see if there's anything better than that we can be doing. Reveals a Darksteel Ingot. Nice, opponent can't activate their Sol Ring. Lightning Greaves is coming down for the Kumina opponent, and plays a Master of Pearl Trident. Gonna put the Lightning Greaves on their Kumina. Yeah, we're starting to get into board wipe territory. Board wipe would not be the worst thing. 2 go-wide decks at the table, and they definitely have a lot of stuff. Gonna play a face-down morph creature, the Reese opponent is, and a Glare of Subdual. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a problem. Alright, so at Reese's end step, we're gonna activate Sensei's Divining Top. We have Control Magic, Flood Extrand, Solemn Simulacrum. I think what we do, use land tax, shuffle our library, and then get a fresh set of 3 to look at. So we'll get a Plains, shuffles our library, then use Divining Top. Sol Ring, ooh, it's not amazing. Sol Ring's okay, but the other 2 are not super needed. So what I think we do is play this Tithe and get some lands and shuffle our library again and take another crack at the Sensei's Divining Top. Looking for something good. We'll get 2 planes and activate Divining Top one more time. Ugh. Herald's Horn, Solemn Simulacrum, and a land. Land obviously to the bottom. Herald's Horn can be alright. We have Divining... Yeah, I like Herald's Horn. How much mana do we have? We have exactly 6 right now, which means cast Azor. Oop, we got to make sure we have enough colored mana. We do need to play a colored land. Blue, blue. So play a Plains. Cast Azor. Opponents won't be able to cast instants or sorceries. If Keranos had removal, this is probably not the correct play, but I don't know. And with our 1 floating, we will activate the Divining Top. Still lands in Solemn Simulacrum. Can't get rid of that Solemn Simulacrum. I don't know how this thing still keeps ending up on top of our library. We've shuffled so many times. I mean, I think we attack with the Sharding Sphinx, just to get some tokens. Oh, yeah, Reese is going to start tapping us down. Let's see if they tap the Thopter token. Going to tap down all... Yeah, it looks like they're going to tap down everything. Well, they left the Thopter open, so they're going to get to eat the Thopter. So Sharding Sphinx is going to get to make another 1/1 Thopter. Ooh, Glare of Subdual taps down artifacts as well, so going to tap down opponent's Sol Ring. Kumina is going to put a +1/+1 counter on each merfolk they control. That seems pretty good. Keranos gets to do 3 damage to a target. They choose the Master of the Pearl Trident. That does get rid of Island Walk for the rest of the merfolk. Although a few of them have it on their own anyway. And there's a Hellkite Tyrant. Ooh, there's a lot of artifacts out. Marrow Regery coming in. Ooh, that is a powerful card. Lord of Atlantis coming in. Marrow Regery triggers. Tap or untap target permanent. I wonder if they knew how good that is when that came out. I have to wonder because it is ridiculous. Opponent's going to tap down the Kumina with the Glare of Subdual. Marrow Regery is going to untap the Stony Brook Banneret. Voral of the Hullclad. 1 green, blue, 1/4, pay blue and a green, double the number of each kind of counter on target artifact, creature, or land. Marrow Regery triggers again. Glare of Subdual gonna tap down the Kumina. Oh, Keranos revealed a Royal Elemental, which could be reasonable against some of those tokens, because once you bounce them, they go away. You don't have to worry about them again, so decent removal against tokens, but there are a lot of tokens, and I don't know that they'll get to play that many lands to make that worth it. Thada Adel coming into us, that's not amazing. Well, that will do 2 things. That will shuffle our library, so 1, we can get rid of this damn Solemn Simulacrum that's been on top of our library all game. So that will give us a shuffle, which is good. Who knows what they steal? We'll find out. Conjurer's Closet is really good. Hopefully they don't take that from us. They take our Mana Crypt. More Merfolk coming into play. So if we can find a board wipe, Reese and Kumina are both going to be in a world of hurt. Marrow Levitator coming into play. Another Marrow Regery trigger. Felonite Hermit at turn face up. Going to create 4 1/1 green Saproling tokens. So Reese has many, many tokens with the ability to double up on the tokens. Really needing a board wipe. So Reese going to send a lot into the Keranos opponent. It's good news for us. Keranos going to block with the Trophy Mage. Also block with the Hellkite Tyrant. That'll take down a couple tokens. They will get to populate off the Wayfaring Temple. Wow. Keranos goes all the way down to 12. That is a big shot. I'm going to go Sensei's Divining Top first. See what's on top, if we need the land tax or not. Sword of the Animist, Rite of Replication. That's an interesting card. And Azorius Charm. So Rite of Replication on Sharding Sphinx would be really funny. We would get to make so many tokens, and I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to say no to land tax. We do have a shuffle with Arid Mesa, We have exactly 9 mana. We would have 10. Man, this is tricky. I think I'm going to play Arid Mesa, crack Arid Mesa, get Prairie Stream. We can take one more look with the Divining Top, make sure there isn't a board wipe coming. Ooh, there's a Mystical Tutor. There's an Hour of Revelation. That's exactly the card we want. So we'll go Mystical Tutor, Unesh, Hour of Revelation. Yeah, now we're talking. So first thing we'll do is try to go to combat. Opponent's going to start tapping down our stuff, to be expected. Taps down our Azor. I wanted to see if they would leave that up and we could use the Azor's ability to draw. It's not to be. Yeah, we can send Lavinia in. Why not? Opponent takes, goes down to 31. Nice. Found its way through. So we're going to draw a card with the Divining Top. We are going to tap our Thran Dynamo. We're going to lose our Thought Vessel, which is not amazing. We will need to try to get some things out of our hand. We're going to cast the Hour of Revelation. White, white, and white. Destroy all non-land permanents. A boom! The Merfolk opponent is going to get all the lands out of their graveyard. Doesn't look like there's any, so that's good. We have 6 mana. We'll lay down the Herald's Horn, choosing Sphinx. Already played a land, so we can't do that. And we will pass the turn. Nice. Discard some islands. We need our plains for the Ameria. So that was a much-needed board wipe after a whole lot of scrying with Divining Top. Keranos going to get to do 3 damage to a target. Herald's Horn coming down for the Kumina opponent. Geist Honored Monk coming down for the Reese. Opponent revealed a Desertion. That's always kind of scary. Back to our turn, we get a Herald's Horn trigger. Come on, Sphinx. It's our Divining Top. Yep, that makes sense. We did put that on top of our library. How much mana do we have? Can we get Divining Top and Azor down? So Azor coming back into play. Opponents will not be able to cast instants or sorceries on their next turn. We'll play the Tundra, get our Divining Top back into play, and we will pass the turn. So Keranos going to get a trigger. Decides to shoot down the Reese. I'm always down for that. Clever Impersonator copying Azor. That seems pretty good. We will not be able to cast instants or sorceries on our next turn. It's going to shut down this Rite of Replication. Although we can still attack with Azor and just draw a million cards. That sounds like a pretty good plan. Herald's Horn is going to trigger for the Kumina opponent, and they did not reveal a creature. Kumina coming back into play. Selesnya Cluestone for the Reese opponent. Back to our turn, we should Divining Top first before the Herald's Horn. Hey, look at that. There's a Sphinx on top. We'll go Signet on the bottom, Mystical Tutor, and then Unesh. So we reveal Unesh and get to put it into our hand. We could Divining Top again, but I don't think that's necessary. Mystical Tutor is a solid choice at this point. We need to find a Cyclonic Rift or something nasty like that. That'll give us the means to do so, though we will have to wait. Right now, let's get... Ooh, do we go Unesh? Yeah, I think we get Unesh down. Let's get Unesh down. I did want to use the Azor ability, but I think getting more board presence is probably the correct call. So let's do that. Cast Unesh. So Unesh comes in. We're going to get the Factor Fiction. We'll target Keranos since we've been friendly toward them all game. Maybe they'll be nice to us. Give us good piles. There's some decent hits right there. Madomai is good, but the other 3 cards are better, I think. So we'll take that. Choose pile 1. I want to leave up mana for the Mystical Tutor in case, so I'm going to play the Plains instead of the Mistveil Plains right here. Lay down the Signet. Let us go to combat against the Reese. We unfortunately do not have enough to pay for Azor's ability. So we're going to get in for 6, and Reese goes down to 22. We're going to discard the Command Tower because we really need our planes for the Ameria. Keranos going to shoot down the Geist Honored Monk. I can dig it. Opponent plays a Treasure Hunt. There's a Kaiga the Tide Star. Azor going to attack. So opponent has a Darksteel Ingot, which means they can pay the cost on Azor if they wanted to. Opponent passes the turn. Herald's Horn triggers for the Kumina. Kumina swings into the Reese opponent. Reese goes down to 14. Reese draws a land. We're going to play our Mystical Tutor and Divining Top. Don't really need a board wipe at this point. Oh, Momentary Blink isn't a bad call. Yeah, I like Momentary Blink right here. That'll draw us so many cards. So let's get Momentary Blink. Then we'll use the Divining Top, rearrange things as we need to. Swords of the Plowshares on the bottom, Propaganda, and Momentary Blink. And back to our turn, we get a Herald's Horn trigger. So we draw the Momentary Blink. Nice. I'm really missing that Thought Vessel right now. We have 5 planes in play currently. We need to get 2 more into play. We can get 1 down this turn. Oh, I know what we can do. We're going to shoot that Kaiga the Tide Star because that thing can be really problematic. And then when opponent tries to steal our stuff, we're going to Momentary Blink. Opponent's going to try to steal our Unesh. We're going to Momentary Blink our Unesh. That'll fizzle the spell, and we get to draw again. We'll go for the Kumina opponent, since we just pulled some shenanigans on the Keranos opponent. And there's some gems. There's all the removal and control stuff that we've been looking for all game. Man, I don't know how it was so hard to find all of our control cards. Yeah, we're going to go with Conjurer's Closet. No doubt about it. Conjurer's Closet, so good for our deck. Reese actually has flying blocking tokens, so probably won't attack into them. Yeah, I think we should start going after the Keranos opponent, since no one else has cards in hand, really. Azor is going to trigger. Do we need to draw more cards? Well, when we play the Sphinx, we'll draw even more cards, so no. The answer is no right now. But if we need it, it's there. So opponent's going to take 6 in the air, goes all the way down to 6. Then we will play the Sphinx. Wow, Sphinx of Athun cost 4. That is a lot of cost reduction. So we're going to get to draw many cards. Choose Kumina. There's an Ugin. And Eldrazi Displacer. Nice. Oh my god. All the gems. We're hitting all the gems. They'll probably split those up. But we are very close to our Ameria. Yeah, let's choose Ugin. Ugin is the insurance policy. And then there's Unesh. Also choosing the Kumina. Yep. They bet to go Treachery and lands. Choose the Treachery. I'm going to play the untapped land instead of the Mistveil Plains right here because we want to leave up Momentary Blink in case we need to protect something. So with that, we will pass the turn. We are starting to assemble the Sphinx Eye. Keranos reveals a land, plays a Chromatic Lantern, plays a Control Magic, targeting our Sphinx of Athun. Yeah, we probably blink that. Yeah, blink the Sphinx of Athun. Opponent has 4 mana left. Yeah, they can do some things on 4 mana, but I'm not too worried about what they might do with 4 mana, so... Blink our Sphinx. Get him again with the Momentary Blink. Oh, I love this card. I've been looking for a deck to use Momentary Blink for quite a while, and this is... So we're going to get to draw more cards. Sphinx of the Thune coming back into play. We'll choose Kamina again. Ooh, Guardian Tazim, huh? I could care less about the Guardian Tazim. Choose pile 2 all day. And Unesh, trigger, also on the Kumina. There's a Bribery and Asperia. Oh, the Sphinxes are rolling. We are rolling. Bribery, Asperia. We can get Asperia back once Ameria is active, so Bribery. The Kamina opponent says, thank you for making sure I was part of this game. Yeah, no problem. Oh, nice. So opponent plays Rite of Replication on the Sphinx of Athun, so they will get to draw a little bit. There's some stuff. Got a Spelljack, Fevered Visions, Bribery, Dualcaster Mage. Yeah, luckily they're tapped out. Did opponent give him 5-0? Ooh, I think opponent gave him 5. Yeah, opponent gave him all the cards. Well, we will need to kill. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to kill Keranos on this coming turn. Hopefully the other 2 opponents don't get in our way to prevent that from happening. We can get rid of one blocker with the Swords to Plowshares. We could steal the other one with the Treachery if we needed to. Fracturing Gust. Ooh, boy. Destroy all artifacts and enchantments, gain a bunch of life. We're going to lose our Herald Torn. We're going to lose our Signet. We can protect our Divining Top, so let's go ahead and do that. Draw into a Azorius Guildgate. So all the artifacts and enchantments going away, the exception of Darksteel and Keranos, which both have Indestructible. Back to our turn. Draw back into our Divining Top. We have 4 planes, 5 planes, 6 planes. On our next turn, we'll be able to use a Mary to get something back, which I really like. So right here, I think we shoot down the Azor. They'll gain life. Which means they would go up to 12. We would need to get rid of the other blocker to be able to... Kamina scoops it up. Yep, definitely get that. Well, Treachery on the Sphinx of Athun. We get to untap a bunch of lands. Shoot the Azor. Play the Lightning Greaves. Put the Greaves on the Sphinx. Go to combat. Definitely need to make sure we kill the Keranos, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Don't think we need to draw with Azor at all. Feeling pretty good about the number of cards we have. Our life total's also still pretty high, so that's good. So it looks like the Reese opponent has decided to time out. So we're going to boot Reese and get in for lethal on the Keranos. Boom! There it is! Azor Sphinx Tribal. Getting the board wipe just when we needed it. Somehow, we flooded out so hard in the early game. Just so hard. We had the land tax going, and we just could not get anything other than lands for quite a while. That was not amazing, and then even with our Divining Top and all of our scrying power, it took us a while to really find some action. But I'm glad we did. Glad we found that board wipe. Otherwise, this game probably would have went sideways pretty quickly. But yeah, so Azor is pretty interesting. It definitely lends itself to blue-white control, kind of blink shenanigans, but also it plays really well with Unesh, and because of its ability, Conjurer's Closet is really good, and similar blink effects like that. When I was putting the deck together, I felt like it almost sort of built itself. It was like, well, Azor is good with Conjurer's Closet, Unesh is good with Conjurer's Closet, Sphinx of Bethune is good with Conjurer's Closet, so then I just ended up jamming a bunch of Sphinxes in the deck, and it became Sphinx Tribal. You could make it a little bit more competitive by going non-Sphinx Tribal and just playing literally all of the best blue and white stuff, but even as Sphinx Tribal, blue-white is just very strong. Blue-white is a very strong color combination. So yeah, Azor is pretty cool. I went with the Sphinx Tribal build right here. When I played it on the EDH Lounge the other day, I wasn't devout Sphinx Tribal. I had a lot of Sphinx cards in there. But for this particular video, I actually cut almost all of the non-Sphinxes other than Lavinia and something like Knight of the White Orchid and Solemn Simulacrum, which are obviously just mana ramp cards, to get to our big Sphinxes. Anyway, this is Azor the Lawbringer. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.